Have you ever stood in your kitchen, measuring portions, reading nutrition labels, and counting every calorie? Convinced that if you just eat less and move more, the weight around your waist will finally disappear? Maybe you've skipped dinner. Maybe you've pushed through another exhausting treadmill session, doing everything you were told was supposed to work. And yet, every morning, the same reflection looks back at you. The belly fat remains, while your energy vanishes. You feel colder, more tired, and somehow weaker than before. If this sounds familiar, you are not alone. What if the problem isn't your discipline? What if the advice itself is incomplete? The answer may have less to do with calories and more to do with a hormone that influences whether your body stores fat or burns it. According to research from institutions like Harvard, the traditional idea that weight loss is simply calories in versus calories out may not fully explain what happens after the age of 50. Your body is not a calculator. It is a biological system designed to protect you. And when it comes to stubborn belly fat, one hormone often plays a much larger role than many people realize. That hormone is insulin. Behind the scenes, insulin helps determine whether energy is stored away or released for use. If this system is working against you, counting calories alone may never produce the results you hope for. To understand why, let's imagine your metabolism as a financial system, with insulin acting as the chief accountant. The food you eat, especially processed carbohydrates, functions like cash in your wallet. Cash is easy to access. Your body treats glucose in much the same way. It naturally spends this quick access energy first, because it is readily available. Now compare that to body fat, especially the visceral fat, stored deep around the abdomen. That fat is more like a long-term savings account. The energy is there, sometimes in large amounts, but accessing it requires the proper biological signal. And insulin plays a major role in controlling that access. This is where many people unknowingly run into trouble. Most traditional diets focus entirely on reducing calories, assuming that if less energy comes in, the body will automatically start drawing from stored fat. But biology is rarely that simple. When calories drop dramatically, your metabolism doesn't simply ask how much energy is available. It also asks, is it safe to release what has been stored? If insulin remains elevated, that release can become much more difficult. When this happens, the body often shifts into protection mode. Rather than freely using stored energy, it begins conserving resources. Like a family facing financial uncertainty, it cuts spending wherever it can. Metabolism slows. Fatigue increases. Daily energy declines. And many people find themselves working harder while seeing fewer results. This isn't a character flaw. It's a survival response built into human biology. The question then becomes, why would insulin stay elevated in the first place? For many adults, insulin resistance develops quietly, over time. You don't feel it happening. There is no alarm bell, no sudden warning sign. Yet years of poor sleep, inactivity, chronic stress, and frequent consumption of highly processed foods can gradually make the body's cells less responsive to insulin. Organizations such as the NIH and Mayo Clinic have shown that insulin resistance becomes increasingly common with age. As cells become less responsive, the pancreas compensates by producing more insulin in an effort to keep blood sugar under control. Over time, elevated insulin can send a powerful message throughout the body. Energy should be stored, not released. Now imagine what happens when someone dramatically cuts calories, while this metabolic environment remains unchanged. The body still needs fuel. Your heart must beat. Your brain must function. Your muscles must move. So where does that energy come from? Unfortunately, one of the easiest emergency fuel sources is lean muscle tissue. Research suggests that aggressive dieting can contribute to muscle loss, particularly in older adults. And after 50, that matters enormously. Muscle is not simply about appearance. It supports strength, balance, mobility, and independence. It's what helps you carry groceries, climb a flight of stairs, rise from a chair, play with grandchildren, travel freely, and continue living life on your own terms. Yet during repeated cycles of severe calorie restriction, valuable muscle tissue may be sacrificed, while stubborn abdominal fat remains surprisingly resistant. The result is a frustrating cycle. You lose muscle. Metabolism slows further. Energy declines. And the waistline often changes, far less than expected. You are trying to solve a biological problem using mathematics alone. Fortunately, the story doesn't end there. The same biology that can make fat difficult to access can also be nudged back in your favor. Instead of focusing exclusively on calories, many experts now emphasize improving metabolic health and restoring insulin sensitivity. You can begin with 3 practical, science-backed habits. The first involves something surprisingly simple: changing the order in which food is eaten. This approach is sometimes called food sequencing. Imagine sitting down to dinner. Instead of reaching for bread, rice, or pasta first, begin with vegetables and fiber-rich foods. Then move to protein and healthy fats, such as fish, eggs, chicken, or olive oil. Finally, eat your complex carbohydrates, such as oatmeal or sweet potatoes. Research suggests that this sequence may reduce sharp glucose spikes and create a smoother insulin response. The foods remain the same, but the biological conversation changes. The second habit is deceptively simple. Take a gentle, 10-minute walk after meals. Not a strenuous workout. Not a punishing exercise routine. Just a relaxed stroll around the neighborhood. As muscles contract during a walk, they pull glucose directly from the bloodstream and use it for energy. This helps reduce blood sugar levels and lowers the demand for insulin. For many adults over 50, it may be one of the most sustainable health habits available. The third habit involves creating space between meals. Many of us spend the day grazing. A handful of crackers, a cookie, a flavored coffee. Each eating occasion triggers an insulin response. By reducing constant snacking and allowing meaningful breaks between meals, insulin has an opportunity to return closer to baseline. Over time, the body becomes more willing to tap into stored energy. The goal is not deprivation. It is rhythm. Not punishment, but recovery. Turning 50 and beyond is not a time to wage war against your body. It is a time to understand it, respect it, and work with it. The numbers on a calorie tracker may seem precise, but your body speaks a richer language, one of hormones, adaptation, and balance. After 50, health is not simply about eating less. It's about working with your biology instead of fighting against it. And when your body struggles to access stored fat, muscle often pays the price. In our next video, we'll explore sarcopenia, the hidden muscle loss that may be accelerating aging far more than most people realize. If you found this helpful, subscribe and join us as we continue discovering practical, science-informed ways to thrive beyond 50.